The Chinese Communist Party is struggling to deal with rich Chinese people taking their money and fleeing the country. So it's cracking down hard on any possible way for them to get their money out, including giving to charity. Welcome to China Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. The Chinese Communist Party under Chinese leader Xi Jinping has been cracking down on just about everything, hard. So far, Xi has cracked down on the tech industry, the property market, education. But the more Xi cracks down, the more panic he causes. More and more people, especially Chinese millionaires, want to leave, and they're taking their wealth with them. China has seen buckets of money flow out of the country over the past decade, with this fall being the worst so far. This in turn is damaging China's already broken economy, which Xi obviously doesn't want. That's why one of the things he's been cracking down on is money laundering, or at least the kind that pulls wealth away from China. China's fine with profiting off helping foreign criminal organizations launder money from other countries. Check out this episode about that. Oh, what's that? I can't hear you over the sound of my sweet drug money yacht, the SS Funtanil. But for the money laundering he doesn't like, Xi's been cracking down in all sorts of ways. He put a cap on overseas withdrawals using Chinese bank cards, added scrutiny to deposits and withdrawals above a certain amount, cracked down on cryptocurrency mining and trading, and tightened anti-money laundering rules for financial firms. But thinking rules will stop money laundering is like thinking a park full of all-female dinosaurs won't reproduce. Nature finds a way. Lots of people are finding ways to get around the rules, even if it means entrusting money to total strangers through an underground network to sneak cash out of the country. Which sounds scary, but if you think about it, that's basically just banking with a couple more steps. And so, Xi is cracking down even harder. Last year, China launched a 3-year action plan led by the People's Bank of China and the Ministry of Public Security to crack down on money laundering. And one of the industries in China's crosshairs is charity. It's no surprise that charities are on top of China's hit list. And it's not just because China is so cartoonishly evil, they act like the villain in every Air Bud movie. Who's going to be their next target? The Community Rec Center? Philanthropy has been growing in China. The list of top Chinese philanthropists include Country Garden's founder and his daughter. But they're not the only ones. Part of the reason why philanthropy has been growing has been thanks to Beijing's crackdown and push for common prosperity, aka wealth redistribution. But another reason is that philanthropy is a great cover for money laundering. What, you mean to tell me billionaires that donate to charity aren't doing it out of the kindness of their cold black hearts? What's next? You're going to tell me that fishermen are putting worms on hooks for reasons other than giving fish free meals? So how did Chinese charities become the center of money laundering? I'll tell you how after the break. Welcome back. Doing charity in China ain't easy. In China, giving is a lot harder than earning, which is saying something considering China's unemployment rate. Part of it is thanks to how convoluted the rules are. One of the main reasons philanthropy has failed to take off in China is that there are all sorts of laws governing how charities are created and run. In particular, China's 2016 charity law and 2017 overseas non-government organization law have restricted funding for unfavorable organizations and foreign NGOs. The NGO law also made it so that civilian organizations had to be held accountable to China's Public Security Bureau instead of the Ministry of Civil Affairs, which was, according to China Briefing, widely seen as yet another crackdown on charity. Is Xi aware that it doesn't boost confidence in your economy when people literally can't even give Chinese money away? But now, new amendments to the charity law are under deliberation in the National People's Congress, China's rubber-stamped legislature. Chinese state-run media would have you believe that the amendments are just about addressing things like online donations and ineffective regulations. But what it's really about is exerting more control. It's part of Xi's newest crackdown on the private sector by cutting off another way to launder money. You can already tell what this is all about when you see the additional clause saying charity work is to uphold the leadership of the Communist Party of China. Ah yes, the true spirit of charity. Whenever I volunteer at a soup kitchen, all I hope for is that all these poor, down-on-their-luck souls can turn their lives around and help the CCP take over the world. God bless us, everyone. Well, not God, since the CCP are atheists. Overall, the revisions, if adopted, will impose tighter restrictions on all charities, both non-governmental organizations and officially backed ones, all in the name of countering money laundering, or in other words, putting a great wall around Chinese people's wealth. The new amendments require new super invasive disclosures. There are some serious boundary issues. Then again, it shouldn't be a surprise that the CCP has boundary issues. Just ask Taiwan. For example, charities now have to disclose anything involving foreign organizations or individuals. Meanwhile, Article 79 requires charitable organizations to disclose detailed information on public fundraising. The amendments also hold charities and trustees of charitable trusts responsible if someone lies to them. The same goes for individuals and online service platforms. Okay, now the CCP sounds like the IRS. And like the IRS, authorities can investigate the charities and trustees anytime they want. China really cares about the truth when the truth involves money being siphoned off by the rich. Actually, that might be the only time China cares about the truth. First time for everything, I guess. Speaking of investigations, the amendment adds a lot more government agencies to conduct oversight and management of charity organizations. According to Article 103, this includes agencies in public security and national security, among a host of other agencies focused on things like finance, taxation, auditing, internet information, and more. The fact that China's revising the 2016 charity law within just 7 years of its launch just goes to show how obsessed she is with security, since modifying a law so soon is very rare. To Xi, charity is a potential threat because it could be a way to promote foreign interests by funding movements inside China that could threaten the regime. After all, nothing shows power and security more than worrying that providing toys for tots could bring down his whole empire, toppling them like so many Lego pieces. Or their sweet drug money yacht, the SS Funtanil. Now I got a video I want to show you that I think will tickle your fancy. But first, it's time to show some love to the people who make this show possible. The China Uncensored 50 Cent Army. Fans who support the show on patreon.com/China Uncensored. As a way of thanks, I answer their questions at the end of these episodes. Today's question comes from Ali Hassan. If the CCP falls, and we can see signs of that, the youth unemployment, falling birth rates, collapsing economy, etc., whenever that happens, how likely is it that the Taiwanese government will assist the mainland Chinese people starting a democracy and maybe move in for a reunification? Great question, Ali. So in the case of North and South Korea, there is a big culture of unification in a way that doesn't really exist between mainland China and Taiwan. Although the Republic of China, the government that runs Taiwan, began as a sort of government in exile of China that once vowed to retake the mainland, that's not really how people in Taiwan today are thinking. Now, I'm sure when the CCP collapses, mainland China will be looking to both Taiwan and India. The CCP has spent decades telling Chinese people they aren't ready for democracy. But the ethnic Chinese people of Taiwan sure seem to be able to manage. The CCP also says there's too many people in China to be a democracy, but India managed to be a democracy despite its enormous population. And I'm sure the people and governments of both India and Taiwan, and even the US, will want to help China make that transition to rule of law and a constitutional democracy. But right now, I wouldn't be confident saying that the government of Taiwan would become the government of mainland China. It does feel like they've both gone their separate ways. Thanks for your question and your support, Ali. And here's that video I want to show you. It's the latest from my new gaming channel, where I talk about philosophy and politics and games. I call it Deep Thoughts While Gaming. This one's about Lies of P. Check it out. If you want to support China Uncensored on Patreon, click that orange button. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.